Hello, everybody, and welcome to the post-London session markup on EU today for the 14th of March. So what I have on my charts right now is the daily chart. You can see it's heavily bearish. We are currently right now in the pullback phase. We have the boss structure here, break of structure here. We are in a very corrective pullback phase. Came down again, a complex pullback, mitigated the premium, absolute premium of this leg, bearish leg. And then we have had the daily IBOS, which is the first strong sign that we may be heading downwards from here. It could be also that the price comes down into this demand over here that you see, because this was formed by liquidity sweep right there. So it is definitely a solid demand zone. We'll have to see how price reacts on this, and it may go higher over here before it goes down, who knows. But daily is too long of a time frame for intraday play. This gives us an overall bias of where we are. So let's look at the 4H chart. So on the 4H, like I mentioned earlier, right, we were in the pullback phase, so which means that the 4H is putting definitely a bullish structure, break of structure, pullback, break of structure, pullback, break of structure. So we had the last break of structure here, and then looking at the immediate price action, right, because the rest of it doesn't really matter in terms of intraday play. This is what we are playing with. This is the range that we have. We have the last internal break of structure here. We have the strong internal low, and then the weak internal high. So at this point in time, I came to my charts today at about here, this candle here, and I did take two trades. They met my plan, but unfortunately both of them were losses. But again, it's a game of probabilities, right? So you keep executing your plan, and over the long haul you will come out very, very profitable. So in this case, what my bias was that we had come into the 4H demand. We had a nice reaction, a V-shaped reaction to it, and then we chalked bullish. Once it chalked bullish, I had a very nice demand zone set up over here on the 4H, and that's it. And then we go down to the 15-minute to see what exactly is going on the main time frame that I look for analysis, and I'll show you where I took those trades and why I lost them. So looking at the 15-minute, the 15-minute obviously was the swing was definitely bullish. We had the break of structure, so we have the strong swing here. Obviously during New York we had a massive sell-off, and we had a break of structure to the downside, so the swing structure changed, which essentially signals that the 4H is about to shift direction, and if 4H is about to shift direction, which means that the pullback on the daily is done, and we might be going downwards to the next bearish leg on the daily. Anyhow, so 15-minute, what do we have here? So when within the 1H POI, so let me go back to 1H because I did draw a 1H as well over here. So like I said, within the 1H time frame also we had the 1H boss, and then what happened, we had a nice V-shaped reaction. There was a nice supply here which sort of failed. We had a break of structure, so this was protected. And what did it give us? It gave us two zones. One is the flip zone right here, and then we had the extreme zone, obviously, right? So the extreme zone by all probability means is the most likely zone that will hold. But obviously what happens in this 1H is where I played my trades today, gave me confirmation, but unfortunately did not win. So let's go down to 15 minutes. On the 15 minutes, like I said, we had the internal break of structure. We had this as a solid protected leg. Price was coming in as I got onto my charts around this time frame. And let me expand this a little bit, right? So when price came in and touched my, mitigated my POI, my 15-minute POI, there are a couple of things, right? So more often than not, what I've seen is that price will touch the edge and then it'll shoot in the direction that we want it to, or it will give me a false signal, go a little bit deeper, and then go in the direction that we want to, right? So in this case, both of those trades, even though the deeper one as well, did not play out. But let me tell you how I got involved into this trade right here. So price was correctively moving in, and if I look at the 15-minute chart, what do we see here? As it was moving in, look at how the price formed the equal lows, right? So when we have equal lows, that sort of broke structure to the higher side, there is strong liquidity on both sides, and having both equal lows, when these got liquidated, I immediately got in, right? So there is equal lows here, which was one of my plans to enter a trade. And then also this low over here had a chalk bullish, and then it got liquidated over here, and then I got in as soon as the bullish trend started happening. Ideally, I would have wanted it to go higher. I wasn't playing too much. I was just going forward 2.2 hours. And then a massive sell-off happened. And at this point in time, I sort of stayed back and let's see how price reacts over here. I could have entered at this point, right? And we could have maybe gotten a 1.5 or 2 hour, but I needed a little bit more confirmation. So I went down to 15 minutes, and within 15 minutes, what I saw was that exactly the same story played out, right? So what played out? We had massive liquidation, right? So you had this liquidation here, which was responsible for breaking structure to the top side. So there's a lot of tons of liquidity over here. But if you look at this point as well, this point was responsible for having this chalk, a fake break, and then it got heavily liquidated. So once it gets heavily liquidated, I made sure that as soon as there is a bullish move on that candle, I would get myself triggered in, and I this time covered my entire POI. Again, this was pre-news. There was news over here, and then I should have recognized that before news, price is just painstakingly just crawling sideways. You know, it was toying with my emotion. I should have closed here. I should have closed there. Should have closed there. Should have closed there. But I let it play out. You know, that's part of the edge. And in this case, I made a loss. Now, what could have I done to prevent this loss? What I could have done is waited for a convincing order flow change on the 15-minute. So once the order flow shifted, I could have marked my new POI and traded from there, because as soon as price came in, it just broke right through it, right? So it would have saved me a loss, and this is exactly what happened over here as well. Price is heavily bearish, right? Price is going down bearish. There were signs of equal liquidity, liquidations taken, equal lows were taken. Then also this low had strong liquidity because it broke structure to the top side. I could have, completely valid trade according to my plan, and many times, right? 8 out of 10 times this would have played out. But we have to remember, right? Where are we coming from? What is the objective? The objective was that the daily run, right? Let's go back to daily. The daily was in a pullback phase, right? It was on the pullback phase. And also the initial IBOS that this gave us, so it was the pullback phase of this leg, which went all the way to the equilibrium of this bearish leg, right? So by all means, at any given point in time, price could have turned bearish. Now, for example, if I could have played along here, or along here, or along here, before the EQ of this bearish leg, it would have been a 99% time winner. But given the fact we have mitigated the extreme of the daily, we came down, had a daily IBOS, we had mitigated the equilibrium of this bearish leg, the anticipation was price to go down. But nonetheless, we had solid confirmation. It gave us the right signals for us to enter. And given the whole situation of the narrative building, given the price could have at any time turned on me, I could have been a little bit more careful in waiting for the order flow shift to understand if the supply zones are holding, right? Sorry, if these demand zones are holding. And if I would have done that, I would have saved myself a couple of losses. Like I said, if I had taken these trades during any other phase of the leg, over here, over here, over here, over here, over here, whatever have you, if I had taken any one of those, would have definitely been a winner. But oh well, such is life, and we just keep playing the probability game, right? You all take care. Bye-bye now.